Argentina is reopening its borders to fully vaccinated tourists in November, and what you can expect when the country reopens in November. We will discuss it all in this video. Up until this point, Argentina was only open to residents, citizens, long-term pass holders. Those were the only people that were allowed into the country while it was closed to international tourists. If you have followed the situation in Argentina, you're probably aware that the country had undergone one of the toughest, strictest, longest lockdowns in the entire world. I mean, we're talking Vietnam style. After a prolonged period of lockdowns, the country is finally open its borders to international tourists, starting with its neighboring countries, Chile and Uruguay. If you happen to be from either of these countries, you are allowed to enter Argentina, provided you're fully vaccinated, on October 1st. And starting November 1st, fully vaccinated tourists from all over the world are going to be allowed to visit the beautiful country again. If you're fully vaccinated, you do not need a negative PCR test or quarantine upon arrival. The good news is that also unvaccinated travelers are welcome in Argentina starting November 1st, provided they're willing to provide a negative PCR test before departure, another test once they are in Argentina, plus they are also required to quarantine for 1 week. I know, well, this is not the ideal reopening proposal to the unvaccinated. It is a lot better than what other countries have proposed. And of course, if you happen to be fully vaccinated, this is going to be a lot better than going to Southeast Asia right now. I also wanted to talk a little bit about what you can expect when Argentina reopens. Nightclubs, bars, concerts, and football games will operate at a 50% capacity. There's no outdoor mask mandate. However, you are required to wear a mask indoor at all times. One of the things you definitely have to be aware of is that when Argentina reopens, there's really no guarantee that restrictions will be lifted forever, because it greatly depends on the current COVID situation in the country, meaning should there be more COVID cases again, should hospitalizations and death rates go up, we could very well be back at square one where everything is closed. I'm not saying this is going to happen, especially not during the first 1 to 3 months of Argentina reopening its borders to international tourists. However, in the event that things should go downhill, I think you need to be mentally prepared for it. One of the main reasons why Argentina reopens, considering that the country hasn't really vaccinated most of its adult population yet, is that the election takes place on November 14th, 2021. And no doubt the country wants to make business owners happy by opening up its borders. I do believe that voter support plays a definite role in the reopening plan, because a lot of Argentines are not vaccinated yet. Naturally, the government wants to strengthen an extremely weakened economy by reopening its borders to international tourists. People are gonna come in, they're gonna spend money. Do I think the government will move ahead with its reopening plan? Because we've seen a lot of governments make statements, and then when COVID cases or hospitalization rates, death rates increased, they quickly turned around and they delayed the reopening plans again. I can't say with 100% certainty that this is not going to happen in Argentina's reopening, but I do believe it is fairly unlikely to happen considering the whole situation. One of the big pros, okay, it's a big plus that you're able to enjoy when you travel to Argentina this winter, our winter, their summer. Should you go there, I think not a lot of tourists are going to make the move because there's still a lot of uncertainty. Plus, I do believe people have already made plans for this winter. Like, very few people make last-minute decisions during this time of great uncertainty. With that being said, considering all the factors, I really do believe that going to Argentina, even if it's just for a month, couple months, doesn't matter, I think you'll be able to get very cheap apartments, and it's possibly more enjoyable with fewer tourists competing for services in Buenos Aires. Do you think Argentina will go ahead with its reopening plan? Are you currently in Argentina? If so, what's the COVID situation like? Leave a comment below and let us know. I got 2 recommendations for you. 1, I shot a video on the safest and cheapest countries to live in the world. If you want to watch this video, then click on the link that appears right here. 2, I shot another video on countries without entry restrictions. These are great places that you can visit right now. And if you want to watch this video, then click on the link that appears right here. Make sure to subscribe and turn on alerts to receive a notification when I upload the next video on digital nomad locations, visas, and travel updates. Thank you for watching.